I know a lot of MAGA voters have been watching my videos lately, which is good. I see you in the comments, I see you in my emails, and I want to make a genuine appeal. Do you not understand how it's hypocritical to say that Biden was too old to be president and he was cognitively declining, yet you replace him with somebody who was older than Biden was when he took office 4 years ago, who is clearly less effective than Biden, I'll demonstrate that in 1 second, and who slurs a lot. I mean, yes, Biden got pretty old near the end of his term, but Trump is starting his term pretty old, and he slurs his way through speeches, and he seems low energy at times, but all of this only compounds when you remember that this dude knows nothing about policy. And also, I find it a problem that Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas, is one of the only Democrats repeatedly pointing out Trump's cognitive decline. I want to show you this clip of Jasmine Crockett basically exposing the cognitive decline that Trump is facing, but let's start with the test that he took and began to talk about today, because I honestly find it hilarious how low the bar has gotten. The bar is currently in hell. So again, to the Trump supporters watching my video, just stick around for 1 second, because I want to lay out why I think Trump is very likely in some sort of cognitive decline himself. First of all, let's start off with the meme video. Do you know how many meme videos we had to take in of Biden slipping on his words or whatever? Yet Trump has an actual idiot moment. Look it. This dude has an actual Mr. Bean moment. Like, I'm pretty sure this actually happened in the show Mr. Bean. He's trying to walk into the plane, and this, in and of itself, is not proof of cognitive decline. You can't say that. You can just say this is proof of him being kind of a clumsy idiot. Now, right here, we have Trump talking to Chris Wallace back in 2020, and Wallace calls him out for basically lying about how hard the cognitive test actually is. Take a listen.
I tell you what, let's take a test. Let's take a test right now. Let's go down. Joe and I will take a test. Let him take the same test that I took.
Incidentally, I took the test too when I heard that you passed it.
Yeah, how did you do it?
Well, it's not the hardest test.
No, but
there's a picture and it says, what's that? And it's an elephant.
No. You see, that's all misrepresentation.
Well, that's what it was on.
This dude, you can actually see that he was a little bit more energetic 4 or 5 years ago. I would make the argument that this Trump in 2020 was still more energetic, but this is literally the test. I can't identify these animals. I wish I could. I wish I had the cognitive ability to identify that animal in the middle. Is that a dog?
It's not the hardest test.
No, but
there's a picture and it says, what's that? And it's an elephant.
No. You see, that's all misrepresentation.
Well, that's what it was on the web.
It's all misrepresentation. Because, yes, the first few questions are easy, but I'll bet you couldn't even answer the last 5 questions.
The last 5 questions are like, what's 5 times 5?
I'll bet you couldn't. They get very hard, the last 5 questions.
Well, one of them was count back from 100 by 7.
And let me tell you,
93.
You couldn't answer.
This guy cannot be serious. Count back from 100 by 7.
You couldn't answer.
All right, what's the question?
Many of the questions. I'd get you the test. I'd like to give it.
I'm sorry, this guy is beyond parody, but this brings me to today, where he's talking about his cognitive test results, and he's saying, hey, I got every question right. I aced it. Number one, he's visibly more low energy, and he slurs a bit more, so that is a demonstration. But also, you know what an elephant is. Congrats, Mr. President.
I think I did well. I think they're releasing the report on Sunday. It's highly respected. It's a great place, great, amazing place.
Did they give you any suggestions or advice on anything you need to change up?
A little bit, but overall, I think I felt I was in very good shape. Good heart, a good soul, very good soul.
A very good soul, Trump claims. This man has the best soul. Nobody's ever seen a soul like it, in fact. It's a soul so strong that he's able to undermine our Constitution in 100 different ways and still have a cult following that claims they respect the Constitution. For example, Trump is currently stripping due process away from immigrants across the country, people that are here and came through legal means or have court orders saying they can't be removed are being removed with zero habeas petition, zero ability to file a petition and say, hey, I need to present my case in front of a court, which is your constitutional rights. Now, I want to bring your attention to Jasmine Crockett. This article says, Jasmine Crockett says it's, quote, beyond wild that nobody is questioning Trump's mental fitness. This should be the highlight for a lot of Democratic politicians, and it's hard to talk about everything at once. But right now, I would say that Democratic politicians are mainly focusing on Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and all of those being slashed. And that is a very strong and important argument that they need to keep making. But they also need to talk about Trump's erosion of our rights, our constitutional rights, his targeting of law firms and universities. I truly think that that is also incredibly important to talk about and shine light on. Also, Trump's cognitive decline is important to talk about. Now, I would probably talk more about Medicare and Medicaid than I would Trump's cognitive decline, but all of these things put together a pretty damning picture of a terrible president. Also, Russia, Ukraine, Trump's imperialist ambitions, all of these things you can talk about. But during an appearance on MSNBC, the Texas Democratic representative compared living through a second Trump term to being in an abusive relationship. Let's watch this segment.
But this crazy tariff war that nobody asked for, where he basically is invoking emergency powers, the same thing that he did under the Alien Enemies Act, like the fact that no one is questioning his mental acuity or fitness to serve is beyond wild to me, right? Like the fact that they sat around, called Joe Biden, sleepy Joe Biden, and as I said before, at least you could sleep at night because you didn't have to worry about your 401k disappearing overnight. You didn't have to worry about these allegations of fake invasions. You didn't have to worry about the cost of food just skyrocketing or skyrocketing cost of all of your electronics. You know, the fact that Apple was flying in planes of iPhones before the tariffs hit, like this is crazy work for.
It's crazy as hell, and you know what's wild? All of this just for Trump to blink yesterday. Trump conceded to China and dropped the tariffs on smartphones and certain chips. It was like, what was the point of doing any of this if you basically just put a carve out for China? That is such a large concession. We now gave China a massive concession, and that's right. It's maybe because Trump isn't the most mentally sharp. A sharp president would have an end goal, a plan that he can reach to make sure that the US is elevated on the global stage, or at least continue the steady hand that Biden had, yet Trump has shown himself to be unreliable, unpredictable, and not in a good way. He's not unpredictable in like a mastermind way where he's playing 4D chess. He's unpredictable like a bull in a china shop where he's swinging around a sledgehammer and hitting all of the glass pieces. Imagine a bull with a sledgehammer at the same time, I guess. That's the analogy that I'm drawing. But
for no reason. So, you know, I just hope that people remember, because seemingly they got amnesia the first time. And so you've got opportunities to vote. And I will tell you that every single special election we've had, Democrats are swinging no less than 15 points. But honestly, we should be swinging 30 and 40 points because of the level of incompetence and harm that this administration is bringing upon all of us.
Yeah, Congresswoman referring to a kind of improvised Apple iPhone Dunkirk situation where they like got a bunch of planes bringing phones in, I believe from India, before the tariffs would hit. That was.
It is all a mess. And while this is happening, the stock market is falling. Someone said, voter, I'm mad at the Democrats for hiding Biden's cognitive decline, so I'm voting for Trump. Trump, if I tariff enough tariffs, I can tariff the Chinese into untariffing their tariffs and tariffing more tariffs. It's a genius plan. Blueberries. And that's very true. The bar for presidential behavior has gotten so low that we are now celebrating a man who doesn't understand what tariffs are and who is celebrating passing a cognitive test and knowing what an elephant is. He knows how to identify a picture of an elephant, and that is supposed to make me feel safe and secure for some reason. But that's the Trump playbook. Lower the bar, clear it, and then act like you just leapt over Mount Everest. For example, he will act like he's going to nuke the Earth, and then when he doesn't nuke the entire planet and just does pretty damaging tariffs, the bar is so low that everyone's clapping for him, at least MAGA's clapping for him. So I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate what I do, make sure you drop a like. I love and appreciate every single person who watches my videos on a day-to-day basis. We are building a bigger and stronger resistance, in my opinion, so that as the midterms come around, our voice is very loud. I mean, think about it. As the midterm elections come around, we'll use this platform that we've all built to interview top politicians, to elevate the platform of certain Democrats who deserve to be in the spotlight, who deserve to have a seat in Congress. We could change and shape the Democratic Party using this platform we've built. So make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to help boost the message, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.